sit back, relax, and put your seatbelts on because you're in for a ride. And welcome to the live recording of The Guide to Life.
It's almost a poem.
I know, right? Welcome to The Guide to Live. It's Monday, July 15th, and this is your weekly hangout to join us to talk about live streaming with people who really know what it's like.
Because let's face it, no one really knows what you're talking about if you say you're a live creator.
Yeah, but we do. So I'm Tara, and across from me over there is my co-host Ben, and together we make up the Guide to Live team.
Yeah, and actually we're joined because we record this live on TikTok twice a week, and there's a lot of people in the chat as well who know what it's like to be a live streamer as well. So if you're finding this just on the podcast, like you can come join us live. And sometimes we chat to people in the chat as we're recording, but we do like hang out first before we start recording. And on that note, this has to go on the podcast. It's Pat Dizzle's birthday.
Happy birthday, Pat Dizzle.
A great live streamer and a very, very valued member of the Blue Shift team. So. Did we get the horn? That's what I'm looking for.
We will get the horn. Hold on. Happy birthday, Pat Dizzle.
There we go.
Happy birthday to you.
Wow. She got the full happy birthday.
Yes.
So today's theme is about not performing to the algorithm. We've got feature or fake coming up. Mm-hmm. Much beloved.
My favorite.
And then we've got a question of the day from that funding guy.
That funding guy.
He's talking about how do you run a business and be like have a professional facing front and also being a live streamer, which requires maybe you being looser and sillier, and how do you connect those two things?
How do you find the balance there?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do we mean when we say we're going to talk about the algorithm, but what do we mean when we say that don't perform to the algorithm?
Oh, I think I know what you mean. I think a lot of the time we do talk about things that get the algorithmic push, like how to create that engagement during your live stream. Right. And we talk about that a lot, and we really like teach you about that because that is what's going to help push you. But we also what we need to do is stress that it's not just that isn't what live streaming is. That isn't the purpose of being a live streamer is to just feed the algorithm.
Yeah.
That isn't it. It's your content.
And it feels like sometimes we get caught up in that. It's like we all know that you need comments and you need shares and you need likes and you need all of the points of engagement that we constantly talk about. And as a live streamer, sometimes you can kind of cross the line into like trying to get those things. And I think it's really worth like zooming out and remembering that the algorithm is essentially designed to measure positive signals from those things. So if you're doing a stream which is creating chat and is creating engagement and likes, it responds to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you give me an example of what you mean by maybe crossing the line of that when you're trying to do it? Like,
I mean when the focus is having systems in place just to get comments for comments' sake.
Yes. Okay, I understand.
Right. So and there are like easy steps that like where are you listening from?
Yes.
What country you
calls to action.
Those calls to action.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't do that at all.
No, those are great.
But if the stream is only that, then it's harder to actually build the deeper relationships.
I see what you mean. Like so in the beginning when you're like, you just started, you're getting yourself warmed up. You're like pumped up. You're like, where's everyone calling? I want to know where you're coming. You're asking those questions. You're getting the chat going. Like that's great. But could you imagine if that's all you did, the entire chat? Like imagine
Okay,
so now
no
where's the show's going to start? When's the main thing going to start?
Yeah, and by show that doesn't mean
it's not.
I don't mean the juggling or whatever.
I don't mean you're going to start singing and you're going to start dancing.
The connection.
I mean, when is the actual like, okay, if it was a talk show, which is like the beginning of the talk show, you get the crowd going, you warm them up, you're like, hey, high five, Arsenio. Remember back in the day, if you're Gen X, you know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
But I'm just saying, eventually you stop and then you like the show starts where you start communicating with everyone. And that's what I'm like, that's what needs to happen. Like that's what you lose if you just feed the algorithm the entire time you're live streaming.
Yeah.
Super serving it.
And like only having that as your goal. So I think being aware of the things, but like designing content which generates it naturally. It's like flipping on its head. Like, what do I like doing? What generates actual conversation?
Yes.
Because it's like, yes, you need a number of comments. Somewhere is
we don't know what
up.
Those numbers are. There is no set number anywhere either.
Yeah. It's just something to hold in your head while you're streaming rather than getting bogged down in the numbers. There. So I don't know if I've even told you this. So I went to Letterman a couple of times.
You've been, when you were doing your management.
With the music stuff.
You were David Letterman.
Yeah, but I went to one of his, like, I don't know, last shows in the last couple of weeks of when they were doing it. It was like winding down.
Oh, towards the end of his reign.
Yeah. And those, and they were like recorded in, like the buildings in New York. But as you went inside, it was like the stage was really grand and like what you saw on television, and then you go upstairs and the rooms they were like just like gymnasium changing rooms or like office rooms from the 50s.
You mean like just the rooms that they were in?
Yeah, like the green rooms.
Oh,
like all of it was so
rooms.
Like
so the green
underwhelming
rooms,
in terms of like, oh, you're at this incredible live show.
Yeah.
The backstage was just as plain as anything you could imagine.
So that's like the green rooms where you go if you're performing, you get to go. That's your backstage room where you hang out and you get all your cool stuff, and everyone comes and says,
well, that, but it was very professional. But the thing that was so noticeable was having been to a couple of those like late night shows, the hosts, they take the time to meet the guests and like kind of like mini prep what is going to happen later on.
Right.
When we talk about co-hosting on live, I think this is something really important to like connect the two here.
Yeah.
How important it is to have a relationship with those co-hosts as well before you start off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, or build it over time. It just makes for better content.
Well, yeah,
which ultimately makes for content which is algorithmically really relevant.
Right. It's good if you both are in on the joke,
but
you know that it's going to happen. It's like you can deliver it a lot better than if one person that knew about it and the other person had no idea.
Yeah. That's why we run our green room.
Yes.
In Blue Pro. Like that's why we like to like make time to hang out with live streamers here as well. It's like, I think that space that you have off stage that I'm describing there, it has character. It's not a bad thing. It's a characterful thing.
Yeah.
But it's a space to go before performing and like building those connections. I think that's why we like to have the green room space as well.
I think it is good. And that's also like that whole, like you said, it's co-hosting. Mm-hmm. If you're going to co-host with somebody, it's great to plan ahead of time before you just go live together.
Yeah. I think both can be good,
no,
right?
It's good. I'm not saying every single thing's scripted. I'm saying, hey, guess what? Here's a few things that we could talk about. Just come up with some things. Maybe if you have something really funny, let me know. Because then how do you know that you could do a joke with it? You know, like let's do a joke and like it could be the best delivery, but unless I knew about that, I couldn't have thought about it ahead of time. Maybe. I don't know.
There's talking of co-hosts, I'm not sure. I don't think it's been announced yet, but there are some really cool co-hosts features coming up on the main TikTok account.
Oh yeah,
that we've been helping set up.
Oh yes, this is something that a lot of people who have been in the agency for a long time. If you've been here since the beginning with Blue, this is something that you probably wanted to do a long time ago and it was never available, and now it's becoming available.
Yeah, so it's going to be cool.
I'm not going to say anything, but just think about it.
Yeah. Well, it is a very important time to announce feature or fake.
Feature or fake.
So this is me versus Tara and everyone in the audience as well.
Yes. So
it's
right now.
It's 1 point all, isn't it?
It's 1 point.
Yeah.
1 point.
Yeah. and 1 point to the audience.
The audience got 1 point as well.
Everyone in the chat
so now we
has
all
one.
have 1 point.
So each week I give you 3 features on the TikTok platform, 2 of which are real and 1 of which is made up. It's a fake. And your job is to identify which one is the fake.
Oh, yes.
Are you ready? So what we'll do is I'll run a poll as we do this as well. But I'll read out the 3 features first of all.
Okay.
So first of all, feature number 1, subscriptions. So this is a feature within subscriptions. You choose. So it's a way of choosing sticker ideas with your community.
Ooh.
So all subscribers and mods can submit images as proposed stickers.
That's really cool. That's if that's real, that's cool because then you get to your community gets to actually get involved.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Feature number 2. There's a whole new app called TikTok Studio available. That is for creators to look at their data and stuff like that, but it's a completely different app. Sits on your phone. Is called TikTok Studio.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Nice.
And feature number 3 is it's also a subscription feature. It's called live voice message.
Voice message.
During a regular live, you can tap the sub-only button in the settings and send up to a 10-second audio message that only your subscribers hear. The audio is muted to anyone who is not a subscriber during that time.
Okay.
So kind of feels like a little voice message kind of thing that we're going. Yeah. So those are your 3.
A good one, guys.
Those are your 3.
Yeah,
okay, let's get a poll up and running here.
It's hard to tell which one's not real.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff just seems like it wouldn't be real.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
Even the stuff I use every day, I'm like, my mind's blown. I'm like, I can't believe this is real.
Oh, you're just talking about things in regular life.
No, I mean, just with technology, you know?
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
No, I think it's really valuable to remain humble and grateful for everything that's around us, because it's easy to get caught up in just it being there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it doesn't change anything other than it's really cool to remember it. I guess it keeps things in perspective a little.
It does. Can I tell a story real fast?
Oh, please.
It's just a really quick story. And I had this so everyone, think about what the answer is.
I can see the answers coming in, by the way.
Okay, so I was getting coffee this morning, or no, actually it was after I had coffee. I was just cleaning up.
Yeah.
And I noticed the little coffee station that, we have. And I was like, oh, this is really nice. I would never have done this in my early 20s, and it would have been so nice back then. And we have a Keurig with the K-cups. And I was like, it's so nice because then I have a drawer that pulls out and there's a variety of different kinds of coffees. And it's because it used to be just one big bag, put it in the thing. I remember when the timer came on in the morning, auto coffee maker, at least I wake up, but then you're like, did I turn off the coffee pot? When you go to work. That's Keurigs was perfect because it's one cup, you're done. You're
talking about the technology of the coffee maker.
Yes, it makes my life with ADHD so much better. Okay. I get a fresh cup of coffee. I can choose whichever cup of coffee. I don't always have to have the same kind every day just because I bought that bag at the beginning of the week. Yeah. Helps my OCD, ADHD. It helps people who are neurodivergent, I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm thinking you're wow, isn't AI amazing?
Well,
isn't that coffee maker
great too, but I'm just it's the simple things.
That's really very true.
I'm just saying it makes my life so much happier.
No, you're right. But does anyone have the coffee maker that goes by your bed? Because that was a big develop. Sometimes things develop too far.
I mean, we did.
Teasmade.
I used to have a little
Keurig. Was it Teasmade?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the UK, they were called Teasmades because it makes your tea, and it would brew tea
right there.
And it would have 2 cups and saucers. Yeah. I remember from my grandparents.
Every time you go to a hotel, usually they have those really bad ones with the little tea bags of coffee.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, these were a little more elaborate and right by the bed.
Yeah, that's really nice. Clock. I bet. Can we go back in time again and try that?
Okay, we got 1 minute remaining on feature or fake poll. So you're identifying which one is the fake.
Which one's the fake?
Was it the subscriptions where they get really to suggest a sticker? Time. Is it the TikTok Studio app for creators, or is it the live voice message? 10-second voice message for subs. Ghost Knight is saying they misvoted.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, you can let us know later what you really meant after.
Get out quickly. Log into your other account.
After the right answer.
This is it's very simple. You've got 57 seconds to do that. Quickly log out, but don't do it until I finish because this is important. You're gonna have to log out, switch accounts, log back in, find us, like it. But now you're even, so now you're gonna have to log out again. Go into your third account.
Too much work.
Everyone's got the third account.
Too much work.
Get back in, but then come back and then as Ghost Knight tell us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through it. Let's do it. Let's find out. So we will do it in the following order. All
right.
I'm going to go by the number of votes here.
All right.
I can tell by everyone. So first of all,
am I supposed to say what I think first, or I don't know.
Yes.
Is that what's supposed to happen? You were about to blow the answer before I got to game. Even. And then of course I'm going to go with what the poll says. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'm going to make it simple because I usually go off and you get confused when I say what I'm saying. Because I usually say, well, I think this one's fake. You're like, oh, so you think this one? Or I say, I think this one's real. And you're like, oh, so you think this one's a fake? I'm like, no, I think it's real. This one's the fake. This one's the fake one. Okay.
Okay.
The sub only live message is fake. That's the one I just cannot wrap my head around. It doesn't make sense to me.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
It's like I'm going to go onto a live.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to hear a voice message while I'm trying to watch a live.
No, it's not like a voice message. It would cut the audio to anyone who wasn't. It cuts the audio to anyone who isn't a subscriber for 10 seconds.
Okay.
So you'd like press it now, and then we'd say, "Hey, 6 subscribers to our account. Thanks to the 6 of you, you're cool, and everyone else
or it does
is not as cool." I think that was longer than 10 seconds.
I think that one's the fake one, but that's what. Okay, so now you can go with the poll and see what everyone thinks.
I hope people would use it better than that, rather than just to be like secretly rude to the rest of their viewers.
I was watching the poll and I was like, this one is like the first time that I think I agree with what the poll says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think that the sub-only live chat is it? Okay, so that is also the results of the poll as well.
It was by a landslide, actually.
Yes.
A lot more of you thought the same as I did.
So a lot of you thought the sub-only live message. There were several people, though, sticker ideas, and slightly less people thought that TikTok Studio was the fake.
Yeah.
So let's go through this. So I'm gonna start with the lowest on the poll, which was the TikTok Studio.
Okay. Can I say something about that? I know that's real because I have it on my phone.
Okay. Oh, look at you. Yeah. Be honest. Have you used it as much as you should have?
I haven't used it at all because I have to log in. I don't know my user out because I have to go look my passwords up because everything's so easy on my phone now.
Now, this is the truth. If this podcast is for people who know about live streaming, they know that you lose your password and then you can't get into TikTok Studio, and that's the reality of life.
All things since you just said, wait, we were picking the fake?
Oh, no.
Yeah, 2 were real, 1 was fake. You had to find the fake. 2 of these things
so that one's real
features.
TikTok Studio is real.
One of them is fake.
I shouldn't have talked over you. And we
2 of the features are real. 1 of them is fake.
Great. We'll use that as the song.
Okay, cool. So the sticker thing is?
TikTok Studio is a feature. Mm-hmm. Let's do subscriptions next. So choose from a sticker idea that's submitted by your community.
Fingers crossed, 50-50 chance if this is real, then I'm wrong.
This is also real.
I mean, yes, I'm right. If this was fake, I was right. Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
So you can have subscribers or mods submit images as proposed stickers.
That is so fun,
which you can
guys.
then pick. So you go into stickers, then select from subscriber submissions.
Okay.
And then settings. And
now,
it's right there.
This is a feature. This is going to make.
Yes,
this
Tree
is
Message
another
again.
perk now. This is another perk for your subs now. This is fun.
Yeah,
That's
they're
fun.
all tools.
I like
as
it.
we like to say a lot, like not a single one of these things is going to change like the trajectory if you just do that. But they're all tools, and if you use them in conjunction with doing that and having your sub videos and then having your gift goals and making sure you set your events and all of those things combined, like that's where the magic starts to happen.
I can only imagine being the one sub whose image was picked, and now people are putting it up on the chat in the live, and that means everyone's seeing it, and that's the one I picked. And I'm like, yay!
That would be the picture, that shot. Chink.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that means that the sub only live voice message
We were right. We are the champions.
was the fake.
My friends.
Yeah,
Yes.
so congratulations to both the audience and to Tara
Yes, guys.
this time. So
So
a
it's-
point to you both. That's
Yes.
2, and then 1 to me, the game setter. Even though that some people were voting incorrectly.
We beat the game. We beat the game master today.
I'd like to think that the all of the votes for A and B were people who meant to vote for C, but I know that can't be true because we've never had a clean sweep on any of them.
Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
2 of the features are real. 1 of them is fake. Funding guy just sent me a heart. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Funding Guy.
Congratulations, everyone. We won. We beat the game master today.
Yeah.
That's
And
all
actually,
I gotta say.
talking of that Funding Guy, the question of the day is taken from the inspiration of a question from the Funding Guy. And I've kind of paraphrased it for this format. Question of the day is how to be a live streamer and sustain like a professional business appearance or sell, while also needing to do some of the things that makes you a successful streamer, which is kind of being a bit looser and like sillier or whatever it is that helps engagement.
Yeah, and things that won't where the algorithm won't get you because you're like
too far on the line.
Yes.
It's a question that I've heard lots of people ask in different ways, and everybody, it applies slightly differently. You know, like some people are selling very specific things, some people are selling services, some people aren't selling at all. We should kind of like bookend this by saying, like, obviously, and like we're not advocating that you go on and you're like a serious business person over here and you go on and suddenly like put on a pink pointy hat and like go loopy. You know, like
it's not a drastic. It's not a drastic change.
But I think the underlying thing that we keep saying, like being very honest and like yourself.
Mm-hmm. Authenticity.
And I think sometimes it is that authenticity comes out as the performer in you because you're performing.
Yes.
And in those moments, like really ultimately isn't the goal to have a successful stream so people come in and they take value from it and then maybe go find your business and think this person here who was executing really well in this format, like I am drawn in by them and you've done a lot of the work. And that's what I mean. It can't be so like juxtaposed to actually what you're doing.
Right.
But I think it can be separated to some extent or more than people think.
Yeah. I've seen some creators who are really successful live streamers and have built up a really great community, and they are selling their products, but they're doing it in a way where they're not like, hey everyone, you can buy my link, you can buy my product here. This is where you can buy it. It's more of like they've set their, and I'm going to, the Artist Walker Tapley. If anyone's ever seen the Artist Walker Tapley, this is who I'm speaking of. They've got a great set. It looks like a podcast room. Oh, thank you, Cobra. They've got their live cast room set up, and it's got their name, their brand, and then they're making the wallets that they sell, and they talk about all the product, like how important the leather is. They talk about like they educate. People are curious about what are you doing? Because he's sitting there talking. He's just talking, and he's just making his leather, his wallets, and he's explaining. People are asking questions and he's telling them about it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know,
Yeah.
They go look on his website and they go buy one. And so that it's like,
it's kind of like selling. I mean, that's an extreme example where you're literally making the products in front of the audience, the potential buying audience. But there's a way to do that, which is just making it and like talking it through. He's not really, it's like he's not teaching you how to make leatherware. It's that is the action that's going on with the hands,
right,
which holds your attention. But then the conversation that is occurring is on a different level.
And he's not teaching you, this is how you stitch the leather here. He's like, this is the type of leather I use because.
Right.
And this is why I get it from this country.
Right.
Specifically.
Yeah.
And these are some cool tools I use. I bet you didn't know this tool did this, did you? It's stuff like that. And he's selling his craftsmanship. I mean, if you're a business person and you're selling stuff, especially if you make stuff, that's the craftsmanship is right there. That stuff, not the actual product.
Right.
But people will buy your product because they like you. They like watching the show that you're putting on. They like the conversation. They just like the vibes.
Yeah.
And eventually they will be like, I want to buy this. Why would I go to Target or some other place and buy a leather wallet when I can buy this one and help support this guy that I really love hanging out with on a daily basis? You know?
And that also translates, I think, if you're in service type business where you're selling services as opposed to physical products. So that's a different thing. So the question then becomes, what do you do? I mean, if you really break it down, just divide it up. You take the example Tara just gave. It's like, now what do you do with your hands? Like, that's too reductive of a thought. It's more like, what is your content? Because it can't just be talking about your thing and then trying to have fun and get people in as well. So it's like, what is the structure to it? Why are people there? And I think the more character of yourself that you can get in, the better, really. Yeah, and that's to say, and if it is inside you, because it is inside a lot of people who press the go live button, like I would just explore how far you can go with that within your comfort zone, and maybe just step out of it a little
bit. Yeah. Well, we always say that if you're trying to grow, the only way to grow is to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Because if you're not feeling any bit, like the slightest bit of like uncomfortable or like uncertainty, then you're not growing.
Yeah.
You're definitely not growing.
Yeah. It's like our for Live Fest last year, for everyone. So there are the winners of Live Fest being like the annual festival that TikTok does.
The winter festival.
The winter one. It's kind of like Community Fest is the mid-year one. It's the first time they've done it. Live Fest, they've done several years running.
Yeah. And by the way, I know where this is going to be, and I'm not going to say, but I'm going to say that it is going to be in a very sexy, cool place.
Oh, yeah. So
if anyone is competing in this,
yeah,
you want to get to the in-person one.
Yeah. Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
But we made this T-shirt.
Yes.
If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And we gave it to everybody who competed in blue. That not even just the top people. It was everyone who put the effort into it. And we believe in that sentiment so strongly. Like if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. It's like the journey that you go on.
The journey.
Is the thing. It's like you just pushing slightly outside the comfort zone is the challenge.
Yes.
Is the challenging of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the Guide to Live. We are back on Wednesday, Mondays and Wednesdays, and we'll see you then.
See you then, everyone.